scheduled for tomorrow?
Yes, and yes. It was good to see Deni do more 5-on-5 stuff out there for a longer duration. Gave us an opportunity to kind of move him around, handle and be a second side ball handler, but change his positions. And it's kind of like a little pop quiz for him because he's picking things up on the fly. He's not been able to do as much as we'd like, but he's in a good place right now. He's responded well, and we look forward to seeing what he can do tomorrow.
Is tomorrow, will you be looking at just a test to see how he can make adjustments, what he looks like running with certain guys? Like, what's the number one thing that you're looking at?
I think just overall how he responds after today. We got after it a bit today, and then he may be limited somewhat tomorrow, but just an opportunity for him to play in a real game. That's honestly the only thing we really want to see. See how he's retaining. If he can, take some things that we added today into tomorrow's game. See where he is defensively with our terminology, our concepts. I think all those things. He's a step or two behind, just because he hasn't had the necessary reps.
And we're also talking a case of being, of course, that's the preseason game. Do you expect him to run with the first unit, and what are you looking at to get up to sleep?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think he'll be fine. As a vet, he's probably been in those type situations where you miss a game, or we talked about, that game the following day. He said he walked me through the whole game. So he's got a good feel as far as what we're looking to do, and I think he'll fit in seamlessly.
The pop quiz, changing positions on the fly type of thing. Can you expand on just that as a tactic? Is it something that you do with other players, or is it specific to a guy like him? And have you kind of seen that work with others in the past?
I like doing it. I mean, I think it just makes it tougher on the defense to really kind of nail down what you're looking to do. Gives you more flexibility when you have 2 or 3 ball handlers on the floor. You're moving those guys around, and it's tough at first because there's a learning curve. It's pretty standard if a point guard is always handling the ball and guys know I'm exactly in which spot, but that variability is also tough to guard. So I think it keeps defenses on their heels.
And you drew a lot of praise before taking this job for your advanced scouting reports. So you obviously have a history of doing that. Is that something that you focus on in the preseason? I know sometimes teams kind of just work on themselves and then worry about other teams once the regular season starts, but kind of where are you at in that regard?
Well, I think right now it's still about us, and that'll remain so until we get into the regular season. We'll start ramping up a little bit more each preseason game, but it's important for our guys to understand this is how we prepare. So it might not be the same duration in film or the same number of plays we're going to walk through as normal in a regular season game, but we'll definitely go through the exercise so they have an understanding of the pattern. These are the things we're going to cover. This is how we do it. This is how we prepare. This is going to be just the basics for us moving forward.
Wes, we haven't asked you in a while, but do you expect to have Rui at all for any preseason games? Do you have any idea of the timeline? And then when a guy is out for personal reasons, how do you approach keeping in touch with him, having conversations with him versus probably not wanting to overwhelm him?
Oh, sure. I think the big thing is when he does get here, it'll take some time to get him up to speed, just like any other player. Right now we're still giving him the time he needs, and we've been in communication, which is great. He's kept us abreast of his situation, and when he's ready, we'll put him in the mix and see what he's got. I look forward to it because once again, it's another guy. Now you're playing 10, 11 guys deep if needed, and there's not a whole lot of drop off. So it gives you some balanced rosters, and it goes back to that flexibility and the competitive nature of the practices and training camp, where the white group, second group, really has been the dominant group. So that's kind of good to see that you have a second unit that can really push, compete, and really get after that first group.
Real quick, and not necessarily pertaining to Rui, but just in general, how difficult is your system for players trying to learn this new system?
Not very difficult at all. I think it's we try to streamline things so the verbiage is very basic. So if you can put the pieces together, if you take a second, you'll be able to kind of figure out what we're looking to do. And I think when you can build upon itself, it's simpler. And I think at times we as coaches complicate it with different terms for different actions. We're trying to really make sure all the actions have a name So if you put the names together, a guy can pretty much figure out where he needs to be.
So it's less concepts, but more just getting used to the terminology.
Yeah, for the most part. Defensively, I think that's the biggest thing is the terminology. Because you may be doing the same thing with another team. We just call it something different. Some of the teaching points are different. Some of the nuanced footwork, those things may be slightly different, but I don't think it's vastly new. It's just, so that new player or you're plugging in a new guy it's going to take him some time to get comfortable with where we are, where we need him to be. Mm-hmm.
Neil?
Hey, Coach. Last year, they would always talk about there were stretches where, they were pretty good defensively, but you might not carry out throughout a 48-minute game. What's the hardest part about just trying to, just stay on them? Okay, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing the right things, for such a long period of time.
There's a consistency with that. I think you're fighting human nature. Sometimes it does get boring. It gets mundane. Some of the drills get taxing. So the mindset is to not just get through it, but get something out of it. And I think that's important for our guys to understand that every single rep, we got to make sure there's purpose behind that. Otherwise, we're just going through a mental exercise, and that's a waste of time. So, when it comes to the games, you'll see the defense wax and wane throughout the course of a 48-minute contest, but that's the game, and can you fight that temptation to take possessions off? I think trying to implement where, hey, we're going to do everything right every single trip. And if you make that a habit, you're not going to be 100%. But if it becomes second nature, I think you're going to be in the right spot more often than not.
Thanks, Coach.
Quentin?
How you doing, Coach? Wanted to ask you about the pick and roll with Spencer Dinwiddie and Daniel Gafford against the Houston Rockets. It was just such a beautiful sight to see. But what have you seen from that marriage between the two, and just how good can you think that partnership can be moving throughout the season?
Well, I think it's going to be great. We talked about Daniel's athleticism, his ability to put pressure on the rim. Not only is it good for him, you got a playmaker like Spencer or Brad. Obviously, they both can score, can pass, can find him late, but the amount of shooting behind it, and that puts defenses in a bind. They got to decide: are we going to tag? Are we going to hit Daniel up, or you're going to play the cat and mouse game and bend, be back, a little bit. Now those guards are downhill. That it can be tough. So I think that two-man relationship is going to be good for us. With his athleticism, his ability to be a vertical threat, the shooting we can put on the floor, it's going to stretch defenders out.
And also watching Corey Kispert play, a lot of people just think he's a shooter, but I feel like he's more complete of a player than people give him credit for. Can you talk about maybe something that stands out to you that most people don't see, face value, and also maybe talk about his playmaking as well?
Mm-hmm. Two things, really. The pace at which he plays, I think, is great for a young player. He knows how to move, cut. It's an added dimension for a guy who maybe doesn't have the ball skills to play, pick and roll possession after possession. That's going to be something, obviously, he can build upon. But the cutting in itself acts the same. People are going to chase him because he is a shooter. So when teams chase or he's cutting, you have to account for that cut.
Right.
That ignites tags, and all of a sudden it opens up plays for other people. He might not be the one that benefits from it, but he's helping us, with the force he puts on the rim, but also cut, relocate to space, and now once again become a three-point threat.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Christos?
Hello, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Speaking about Deni Avdija, what did you see from him last season, and what is your impression so far from him with your conversations and stuff like this?
Well, I think with Deni, it's one of those things from afar. Being in the West, we basically saw you guys twice. So it might not do it justice to really say, hey, I had a good look at what he's capable of. Obviously, you see him throughout summer and into September. Sadly, he wasn't able to play Summer League. So another opportunity lost. So right now he's kind of playing catch up as far as where we need him to be going into the regular season. But, you've seen now opportunities for him to be more than what he was maybe last year. By design or by accident, I think he's got more layers to him. His ability to play make, He's obviously a shooter, and although he didn't shoot it great last season, I think the game has slowed down for him a bit. I think all rookies go through that, where the game feels fast, the spacing, the timing. You don't feel as open as you really are. But as the game slows down, I think you're able to make more reads. You feel more comfortable. The challenge, not just with him, but all our guys, is getting up to speed defensively. It's gonna be a challenge for him, and we're gonna ask him to guard those marquee ball handlers, those playmakers at the three. At times, switch on the smaller attack guards. At times, you got to battle, power forwards in the post. So it's going to be a challenge, but I think he's up to the task, and I look forward to seeing how it plays out.
You're on.
Thanks. Hi, Coach. So on the same subject of Deni, what should we expect from him tomorrow?
Oh, he'll get an opportunity to play. I think we'll be mindful of his minutes and the stretches that he runs, just to maybe protect him from himself at this point, because he's chomping at the bit. He wants to get after it. He never wants to take a possession off or get out of a drill, to his credit, but we also have to be mindful of where he is as far as his conditioning. And we don't want that to be a hindrance to his performance. So yeah, we want to see, push himself, see him mixing with different groups, putting him in different spots on the floor. But at the same time, we got to be mindful that, we have some time. And in doing that, let's make those windows short, get after it, play hard, get him in and get him out. So we'll be cautious with his minutes, but I think it's important for him to get out there against another team and really give himself an opportunity to showcase his abilities.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, Coach. Thank you.
No. Just veneers.
Oh, Hollywood.
Yeah. I've had them, I only had my top done when I was in LA. And this summer, I decided to do the bottom. I mean, mind you, I didn't like my teeth, that I had before. It was small, showed a lot of gum when I smiled. So kind of fixed that smile a little bit.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Now that you're back and kind of running with the first group, from what we understand, what kind of are you looking to do in your first preseason game? You just want to get feel, or you want to show coach something?
A little bit of both. Get a feel, of the gameplay. Haven't played since last year. And also just go out there and give great energy. Don't worry about mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. Just go out there and play.
Wes said that you kind of walked him through the first preseason game that obviously we were watching from home and stuff. What did you see in that game that kind of stood out to you?
That we have a great squad. We didn't let up. We competed through the whole game. We played for one another. It's just all about just paying attention to detail. Staying locked in. It was just like you said, it was some time when I was watching where we go over the schemes here, defensive wise, and we missed a whole bunch of things that we actually just go over and practice every day. And that was just my main takeover. Just take out of the game. Just stuff we can just easily fix. And stuff we go over every day.
We're expecting Deni Avdija to play his first preseason game on Saturday. What would have been your early impressions of him so far?
Hard worker. Even through start of training camp, all I seen him do was just run, work, shoot. He's been working since I've been here. Even though he's been the last two practices, he's been playing with us, which has been good. He's high energy, and just playing to his ability.
And we understand that Coach had him covered a pop quiz, kind of changed positions within the scrimmage or within the drill. What was that like from your perspective? And has he been doing that with other players or just in?
I mean, he gives everybody opportunity, to get outside their position, to either run point or anything else. But he did do that today with Deni, and he made some mistakes, but that's not his position. That's usually not where he's at. So it probably felt a little uncomfortable for him. I would say, I even feel uncomfortable sometimes when I'm at the point guard position. Like what am I supposed to do? I'm a shooter, but that's you have to know multiple positions in this league, and I feel like he can get better there.
We know you've known Brad for a long time. Mentioned how you had kind of seen that side of him and made that speak. I'm just interested, like, what has kind of been your general impression of him as a teammate, having known him so well for so long, but now you're seeing a different side of him.
I know when we in like on the court, it's all serious. It's all about the team. What we need to do. He's been that vocal leader in practice, and that's the most I've seen out of him. Just being here. It's a surprising. Because when we just hanging around, it's barely talking. We either on the game or we talking here and there. But just to hear him, for being vocal, getting everybody involved, trying to get the feel of everybody, it's been good. He's been a great leader so far.
Hey, Casey, what do you think is the key to great communication on defense?
I mean, just you got to talk, open your mouth, mostly. I would say just, you gotta, if I'm on the ball, I can't see behind me. So that person has to talk to me and let me know what's going on. And it's my job to hear that. If I don't hear it, then that's on me. But communication go both ways. The person got to talk and the person got to be able to hear it. So you got to be loud, and vocal, so the person can hear it. So it's all about just being loud and vocal. I would say, everybody got to hear you in the gym, even the coaches off the bench. That's if I can hear that on the bench, then you can hear it on the court. So I figured if you just being loud and vocal.
We'll go to
Go
Zoom.
Zoom now. Yep.
Quentin?
It's good, KCP. We talked to Coach, and he said that, excuse me if I missed this question, but he said that you guys talked about that Houston Rockets game. What were your impressions of the team just watching from afar when you watched that preseason game, their opener?
It was, our team is good. We competed the whole game. A lot of mistakes that I seen that I wanted to, that we discussed as far as defense. Offense is going to come. I'm more focused on the defensive end. And it's a lot of things that we can simplify and that we can make easy for us.
And what have you seen that you like so far from Spencer at that point guard position, playing alongside him, and also how he sees the court?
I've been knowing Spencer for a little minute. I had him in Detroit. I didn't get a chance to play with him as much in Detroit. But just, get the opportunity here. It's going to be good. Kind of already know what he can do. He's a scorer. And he's a playmaker. And I already know that. Just all about just sending him out there, just getting it done.
Appreciate you.
Neil?
Hey, KCP, when you're watching that film and, you have your own thoughts on, how to improve things, is that something you bring up with coach individually, bring up in a group session, a mix of both?
Just individually, I would say. Right now, I'm still trying to learn, what he wants to do on defense. I don't want to just take away from that. So I'm still learning the basics as well. So when I see fit, I feel like I throw my 2 cents in there, and we go from there. We have that dialogue, which I enjoy, and it's good to have that dialogue between the coaches and players. Him listening to us and we definitely got to listen to him. So.
Cool. Thanks.
Christos?
Hey, KCP, hope you're doing well. How good is your fit with the team so far in the first days of preparation, and how you vision your role on the floor this season?
I feel like I fit well with this group, and anybody that's going to be on the floor, I run the floor in transition. I'm gonna defend. I feel like that fits in any system. But just knowing these guys, like for the last, however long it's been, I feel comfortable. I feel like I've known them for as a year or two, already, and it's been fun just being around them, and it's just building that chemistry. We getting to know each other, and that makes it easier.
That's it. Thank you.
Good. We understand that you are tracking to play tomorrow. It'll be your first game in like 6 months. So just kind of like, what are your thoughts, your emotions going into that?
Wow, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Since April, I think I got injured. It was a pretty tough ride for me in the beginning. All the preparation, rehabbing, wasn't easy, but I promised myself that I'll come back stronger. I'll come back better, more experienced. And basically, I feel like I'm ready. I've been practicing with the whole team, 2 practices now. I feel good. All the coaches have my back. Coach have my back. Players got my back. So I'm excited to go out there on the court. I saw them in Houston. I saw how we sharing the ball. I saw our game style. I'm very excited this season, and it feels good.
And I understand you were kind of having to change positions on the fly during scrimmage today. Coach called it kind of like pop quiz for you. What was that like from your perspective?
I feel like something that I really like about my game is that I can play multiple positions. So whether it's you need me in that position at a certain point, or you need me to guard this player at a certain point, you need me to guard this center at a certain point, I feel, or run the offense or be the 4 guy who pops out. I feel like I can really be versatile and help the team in the position that they need in that point. And that's very important for me and for the team. And I feel like I'm comfortable almost everywhere. And whatever I got a chance to do, I'll do it 100%. And that's about it.
And yesterday I saw you doing some shooting drills with Davis, kind of running around cones. What's it like being in a shooting drill with him? And is the competitor within you kind of want to keep up or beat him and that sort of stuff?
Me and Davis have a fun relationship in terms of like shooting. We both came from Europe. We both know our similar coaches and how tough they were on us on a young age. And me and Davis always talking shit to each other. So it feels good shooting with him. He pushes me. It's not easy to shoot with a guy like Davis, one of the best shooters in the league. And I challenge myself. I like it, and it makes me better. So shout out to him.
He's a good trash talker.
Yes, he's not bad. I'll give him that. He's not bad.
Deni, I'm sure we asked you some kind of form of this question on media day, but you came into the league last year like very comfortable, very confident. Kind of, where have you grown? I guess how much more comfortable and confident do you feel entering year 2? Like I'm sure there was just so much stuff thrown at you last year. It was a weird year anyway. What do you feel now?
I feel like I'm part of the team more, kind of, if it makes sense in any way. I feel like I'm sort of getting treated like I'm young, which is good, which I like, and people want to push me and get me better, but it's not in that rookie scale anymore. They see you as like somebody they can count on, somebody that is like part of all like the games and defense and offense and all over the court. and just more confidence. You know what's the NBA all about. You know the players. It's not like a shock for you anymore. Like, oh damn, I'm in the NBA. Like I know I'm in the NBA and I respect it and I love it. And I love to be here with the guys every day. But it's more like, all right, I've been through it first year. Now I need to focus on the things that I need to improve, whether it's my game, whether it's the communication on the court, whether it's defense, the small things. It's not like getting in rhythm right now. It's more like doing the small adjustments you need to do before every game, before every team you play. So it feels good. You feel like you have a strong base coming in year two. You still need to improve a lot of things. You still need to get better. And I'm not coming here and say that my second year will be perfect, but hopefully it will be better. And I'm just feeling more mature and more ready. So
You said obviously that you might have an obvious answer to this question, but what about the beginning period after getting injured was so tough for you? Was it just like uncertainty, never happened before, something like that?
So that is the first time since I was 14 that I missed that amount of games. Like imagine like I did the youth programs and then I had national team, youth programs, national team, always had that season national team. So I didn't really have that much time off basketball. And when you get that time out of basketball, it makes you think about a lot of things. And it gave me a lot of motivation to rehab and come back is like better than ever and faster. Like the faster I can be on the court in shape, it was very, very important for me and my guys around me that I'll come ready for training camp. And here we are, we made it. And I'm happy to be here, honestly.
Hey, Deni, I know you addressed this a little bit on media day, but what's the biggest thing you learned from Russell Westbrook, you think?
From Russ, you can learn a lot. Yeah, it's a complicated question. First of all, Hall of Famer. You can't really have any other words for him. I mean, Hall of Famer. He's been a lot of years in the league, and he knows what he's doing. I see how he prepares for games. I see how he treats his body. It's not like you take it for granted that this guy is going on the court every day and give 100% every game. It's not something you see often, and you respect it as a player because it's not easy, especially in that age. And he's still going. So if there's somebody that you need to listen to about how to prepare and how to take care of your body and how to come with the right mindset each and every night, I've never seen such a thing. So it was really nice to see from the side how he treats basketball and how he loves basketball. And he made me also tougher. 100%. He made me tougher. He made me to take the game serious every day and come and take care of your body and know when you need to rest and when you need to work hard and when you need to prepare for the game. And yeah, I mean, I can add 100 more stories to it, but it's basically the main things that I've learned.
Because he was pretty tough on you, right? But you knew that it
Yeah.
was for your good.
But yeah, he was really tough on me. But at the beginning, you always like, damn, and you always like kind of like down after. But at a certain point, you understand that he wants the best out of you. He wants you like to be every day next to him, helping to win, be a part of the team. So at one point, I just got in the rhythm of like, okay, I understand what he wants now. Like, I understand when he comes to me. I know, I got you. Like, I know what you mean. I know what you. So I just went with it, and yeah, it made me tough to the year. But even I felt really good towards the end of the year, but I got injured. But yeah, it was a pleasure and honor, and I'm thankful.
We'll go to Zoom now. We'll start with Neil.
Hey, Deni. During the rehab, did you have any kind of setback or anything? Is that what part of the reason why things kind of elongated a little bit?
I can hear him. I can hear him very well. I hear him. Can you repeat the question?
During your rehab, did you have any kind of setback during the summer that kind of made things a little bit longer?
Setback, you mean like that I didn't do anything, like didn't practice and stuff?
Tommy had just mentioned early on that, things weren't progressing necessarily as they would have hoped them to be.
Yeah. Listen, when I got injured, the predictions were probably 2 to 3 months, more so like probably 10 weeks. And when I look back at it, it's been 6 months. So it was not in plan to be out for so long. But I mean, I just had to keep going. I had to deal with it. I know my body didn't repair itself like everybody thought it would. But hey, I got more time to work on my game, more time to get stronger, more time in the weight room. It didn't stop me from getting up every morning and just work. So, we weren't in season. So for me, a month extra or not, it didn't really matter at that point.
And, obviously you had a very, hardworking, diligent upbringing, playing overseas. Do you think that helped you, in that rehab back and all this fight back to get ready to where you are today?
I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
So, obviously all of your previous coaches have always said you're a very hard worker, very diligent.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How has that helped you during this rehab process to get back to, hopefully 100% where you are today?
I mean, whether I got injured or not, I think that I'm a hard worker, and you said it by yourself, and I think it didn't really matter. I mean, I just, instead of working on the court, I worked outside the court, whether it's weight room or rehabbing or doing stuff that really helps me rehab back on the floor. But the only thing that I couldn't do is being on the court, So for me, it was the same. Even if I didn't get injured, I will still work hard, no matter if I got injured. If it makes sense, I got a little bit complicated, but I mean, I'm a hard worker. I'm gonna work hard no matter what, even if I got injured or not. Of course, it helped me and pushed me and gave me a lot of motivation to come back. So that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Deni.
Thank you.
Quentin.
It's good, big dog.
What's up?
Can you talk to us about just the energy in practice right now? I mean, you were practicing off to the side, but now you are all the way immersed in 5-on-5. Just tell us about the energy so far with the squad.
Energy being great. It's just a different vibe. I feel it. I felt it from the first day. The group of guys we got, the coaches we have around. It's a great atmosphere. I'm enjoying coming every day and work. And even you see things like the football we played before the practice. It shows you a lot on, like, we just want to have fun. We're having fun. We take our job serious, but we know that we need to be together and have fun sometimes and laugh together sometimes. And those things are small, but it helps. It helps in team chemistry. It helps on the court. So things like that makes the environment way better and much more fun, and better to work and get better. So.
You had a really big thing happen to you this week with the Champions Breakfast. You're face of that box now. Can you just talk about the what that means to you growing up, as well as how that's something that you grew up on? Just kind of, how do you feel now that you've accomplished that?
So growing up, for the guys who don't know, I used to grow up eating this cereal. So it's kind of like how you say, closed circle for me.
Full circle.
That I come as an athlete and replace Omri. He's been there for almost 10 years, 11 years since I was little, and coming to this spot, and it's really an honor. Like, I mean, I've worked all my life hard, and I never really thought I'll see my face one day on the cereal box. Is it funny? It might seem, but I mean, I grew up on it, and I just enjoy watching it on the shelves and kids taking pictures and sending to me, and like it means a lot for me. So
Appreciate you and congratulations once again.
thank you, Q.
You're on.
Should I switch to Hebrew or keep a couple more
לא,
questions
לא,
in
לא,
English?
תעשה את זה קצת עברית, תן לי קצת הפסקה מהאנגלית.
Okay, Danny wants some Hebrew, so if that's okay, I'll switch.
I want some
I'll
Hebrew,
switch. I'll
please.
switch to Hebrew.
Fine. That's fine with
Okay.
us.
All right, cool. אז יופי, דני, טוב לראות אותך. איך היה השבוע הזה מבחינת זה שהצטרפת לאימונים סוף סוף של 5-על-5?
אתה יודע, זאת הייתה המטרה הסופית מבחינתי. לא היה קל, לא היה קל לראות את כל התחילת העונה מהצד, את כל המשחקים מהצד, את כל התחרותיות הזאת של הקבוצה מהצד, אבל באיזשהו שלב תמיד ידעתי שכאילו, סבבה, אני צריך להקריב משהו בשביל באמת לחזור בשיא הכושר, ולחזור שאני הכי מוכן שיש, ולא לחזור שאני חלקי בחוץ, ופעם נכנס, פעם יוצא, רציתי להגיע ל5-על-5 לאימונים, לעשות אותם שלמים, כמו שצריך מההתחלה ועד הסוף. זאת הייתה ההחלטה שלי, ואני שמח שעכשיו כבר השלמתי 2 אימונים רצופים, אני מקווה שאני אוכל לשחק מחר, וזהו, אני רץ על זה, אתה יודע, זה מאחורי כבר הפציעה, מרגיש טוב, משחק טוב.
מעולה, המאמן היה פה קודם, והוא אמר שאתה תשחק מחר, מבחינתו לפחות, ושאתה תקבל הזדמנויות, אבל הוא אמר זה משהו מעניין, נשמור על הדקות ונשמור עליו מעצמו, כי הוא לוקח כל פוזיישן מאוד חזק.
אני חושב שזה טוב, תקן אותי אם אני טועה.
זה טוב.
סבבה, אז כן, אני יכול להגיד שאני נותן כל פוזיישן באמת 100%, שבעצם בגלל שלא שיחקתי כל כך הרבה זמן ואני נותן כל פוזיישן 100%, אז באיזשהו שלב הרבה פעמים העייפות באה יותר מהר בשבילי, אז לוקח לי זמן באמת להיכנס לקצב של המשחק עוד פעם ולהלוך חזור הזה, זה לא פשוט מבחינתי עדיין, אז אני מבין את האמירה הזאת, אבל כן, כמו שהוא אמר, אני נותן כל פוזיישן 100%, ואני מאוד מאוד מתרגש אם אני לעלות על המגרש מחר.
היה איזה דיבור שהוא עשה לך איזה פופ קוויז כזה באימון היום על עמדות שונות.
כן, יש ניסיונות, אני משחק עמדות שונות. אתה יודע, כל עמדה, אתה יודע, אני עושה משהו אחר, אבל באמת מנסה לתת מה שאני יודע בכל עמדה. אתה יודע.
מצוין. פיני, אתה מוכן לשאול?
כן. אהלן, מה העניינים, דני?
אהלן, פיני, מה קורה?
מה קורה? נראה מחוייך ועם אנרגיות טובות. רציתי לשאול אותך באמת על הדינמיקה בקבוצה, ומה אתה מרגיש בקבוצה הזאת ששונה בהכנה, גם שלך אישית, מהשנה הראשונה בין העונת רוקי לעונה הזאת, וגם של הקבוצה, זאת אומרת, בכלליות, כל ההכנה והתחושה שלך, דיברת על זה גם קצת לפני כן באנגלית, אבל התחושה שלך לקראת העונה הקרובה.
התחושה שלי, טוב, התחושה שלי, אתה מכיר אותי, אני תמיד חיובי. אני באמת מרגיש שיש פה משהו מיוחד. אתה יודע, בהתחלה זה היה נראה קצת, אתה יודע, כל מיני העברות פה ושם, וזה קצת היה כאילו קצת מבלבל בשביל כולם, אבל אני חושב שסך הכל אנחנו חברה מאוד מאוד מיוחדת. יש לנו המון נשקים גם בהתקפה וגם בהגנה. אני חושב שהכימיה שלנו זה משהו אחר לגמרי. משנה שעברה אני מרגיש שאנחנו יותר ביחד, אנחנו עושים יותר דברים ביחד, אנחנו נפגשים כל הקבוצה הרבה יותר ביחד. ויש אווירה טובה. אני אהיה כנה ואני אגיד שבאמת יש אווירה טובה בקבוצה, יש אווירה טובה באמת באימון, לי אישית כיף מאוד להגיע, באמת מכבדים את כולם, כל אחד יודע את המקום שלו, ואני מרגיש שבאמת זו חברה שיכולה לעשות משהו מאוד מיוחד. אז רק הזמן יגיד.
זה בטוח. אני יודע ששאלו אותך על זה המון, על הפציעה, שהיא לקחה באמת יותר זמן מהמצופה, אבל תספר לנו באמת, מה גרם לזה לקחת יותר זמן, ואיך אתה מרגיש באמת לקראת המשחק מחר, או המשחקים, אתה יודע, עוד שבוע וחצי שבועיים מתחילה כבר הליגה, האם אתה מרגיש שבעצמך 100% או פסיכולוגית אתה 100% כבר מאחורי הפציעה?
טוב, אז אני אענה קודם כל על החלק הראשון, זה שאתה יודע, אתה לא כל כך שולט בגוף, אני מבחינתי אמרו לי, אתה יודע, 3 שבועות, 4 שבועות, עד 10 שבועות, ואני אהיה מוכן. אתה יודע, ואז אתה מבין שזה פציעה סבבה, אין ניתוח, צריך לתת לעצם להחלים, אבל אחד בעצם לא אומר לך שכאילו כל גוף יש לו את הקצב שלו, והוא מחלים בקצב שלו, כן, זה קצת ביאס, אתה יודע, משבוע לשבוע הייתי עושה צילומים, והייתי רואה לפעמים שהקצב קצת איטי, ושהעצם עדיין חצי שבורה, ואתה יודע, זה קצת ביאס אותי, כי רציתי להתחיל לעבוד על הכדורסל, להתחיל לעלות על המגרש ולהתחיל לזרוק, וזה דברים שנורא נורא רציתי, ולא היה לי, אבל אתה יודע, לקחתי את זה למקומות אחרים, לקחתי את זה כדבר חיובי, אז הייתי יותר בחדר כושר, אז יותר עבדתי על החוזק של הקרסול שלי. עשיתי דברים באמת שאולי לא מצריכים כדורסל ולא יכלתי, אבל באמת לקחתי את זה תמיד למקום חיובי, ועבדתי על דברים שאולי אחרי זה לא היה לי הזדמנות לעבוד עליהם. מבחינה פסיכולוגית, יכול להגיד לך שמבחינה פסיכולוגית, גם בגנים שלי, גם, אתה יודע, שהייתי נפצע, שהייתי קטן, אז אבא שלי תמיד הכניס לי לראש, אין כזה דבר פסיכולוגי. אתה יודע, אני מבחינתי, כל עוד העצם מחוברת, אתה יודע, אני משחק, זה לא, אין פה שאלה של אתה פצוע, היית פצוע, קראת, לא קראת, ניתוח, לא ניתוח, מבחינתו זה תמיד, ומבחינתי גם זה תמיד, אם אתה על הפרקט, אז אין מוגבלויות, אתה משחק כמו שצריך, אתה נלחם על כל כדור, אתה באמת משחק באנרגיה המקסימלית, וזה מה שאני עושה, אני באמת ממעט לחשוב על כל הפציעה, זה באמת מאחוריי.
אחלה, מחזיקים לך אצבעות.
תודה רבה.
שי, בבקשה.
אהלן, דני,
שלום שי.
מה המטרות שלך לעונה הזאת?
קודם כל המטרות שלי לעונה הזאת זה דבר ראשון, להשתפר כל יום. אני יודע שזאת קלישאה כזאת שאומרים, אבל באמת מבחינתי זה לבוא כל יום לאימון, למשחק, ולראות את ההתקדמות, לראות את השינויים הקטנים, את ה-adjustments הקטנים שאני עושה ממשחק או מאימון לאימון, ובאמת שעושה אותי שחקן שהוא יותר בוגר. זה דבר אחד, זה להשתפר כל יום. מבחינה קבוצתית, באמת להגיע הכי רחוק שיש, לתת את מה שאני יודע בשביל שהקבוצה תצליח ותגיע הכי רחוק שיש. אתה יודע, אני אחד כזה שאוהב להגיע הכי רחוק, ואוהב להיות במעמדים, ואוהב לשבור שיאים, ובאמת זה משהו שבאמת אני מחכה לו כל עונה. בואו נראה, יש לנו את הכלים, קבוצה חדשה, ונראה, חושב חיובי.
מאחל לך בהצלחה, תצליח.
תודה רבה.
תודה שי, אני אשאל עוד שאלה. מחר הניקס משחק ביתי, ואני חושב שזה יהיה משחק ביתי ראשון שלך מול קהל כשאין הגבלה, אפילו שזה פרי סיזן. אתה מצפה לכמה דגלים, לא?
אני מצפה לראות הרבה תמיכה.
אז אני הייתי מנחש שיהיו גם כמה דגלי ישראל.
למה לא?
כן.
דגלי ישראל זה תמיד טוב.
אז זה דבר אחד שאני חושב שהוא מרגש. כמה אתם כקבוצה מסתכלים, ואולי אתה, על כל הסיפורים מסביב, מילווקי אחרי אליפות, ברוקלין, כל הדרמה שם עם קיירי והחיסונים, אתם מסתכלים על קבוצות אחרות? כי אתה יודע, לפי התחזיות, תמיד כולם הולכים הרבה מאוד עם הקבוצות הגדולות יותר, נקרא לזה.
תקשיב, אני חושב שיש איזה משהו יפה בלבוא אנדרדוג. אז אולי לא כל הליגה מדברת עלינו, ואתה יודע, לפעמים קצת שוכחים מה יש לנו, אבל אני חושב שזה כיף לבוא אנדרדוג. זה כיף לבוא בתחושה כזאת, כי לא יודע, אני מרגיש שיש בזה איזשהו סיפור יפה, אתה יודע, לא כולם מדברים עליך ולבוא פתאום משום מקום, ואתה יודע, לעשות באמת משהו גדול, זה לדעתי אישית מרגש, הרבה יותר. אבל אתה יודע, אומרים אז אומרים, עוד לא התחילה העונה, עוד לא שיחקנו, בוא נראה, אני אישית מאוד מאמין בקבוצה שלנו, אבל אתה יודע, ברור שידברו על מילווקי ועל ברוקלין, ועל באמת על פיניקס ועל כל הקבוצות בעצם שהיו במעמדים האלה, אבל אני חושב שיש פה מקום להפתעה, ואני לא אופתע גם נגיע רחוק מאוד העונה.
יופי, תודה רבה. I'm good, guys.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
I'm out.
Thanks, honey.
How do you say good game?
That is it.